Go. Let's try to get started on this chapter 11. And then I'll finish it at home, and then the whole chapter 11 will be on there, I hope. This is it. This is the last time. Alright, let's take a look. I gotta blow that up a little bit. That's kind of hard to see, isn't it? There we go. That's a 60. Here we go. Shh. Let's settle down. Settle down, please. Alright, it says find the area of the parallelogram. So what is the area of a parallelogram? What's the formula? It's just real basic. It's just base times height. Okay, so if you look at this, what is the base of this parallelogram? It's 20. Okay, so it's 20. Let's do that down here. So the area is 20 times the height. Well, they don't tell you the height. You got to figure out the height yourself, don't you? That's not too bad, because look what they give you. 60 degrees, and that's 90 degrees, so it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. This triangle right here. Everybody see that? They give you the hypotenuse. We need to find the longer side. So what do we find first? The short side, which is 5, and so what's the longer side? 5 square root of 3. So you put...
Because it's half the hypotenuse.
Okay, so that's 5 square root of 3. So that's 100 square root of 3, and whatever that is it 173.2?
Yes.
Good. And that's your area for that. Alright, so you had to find, you had to know this, obviously, but you had to think a little bit to find the height of this. Same deal over here, isn't it? Base times height again. I'll get rid of that 20. So the area is the base, which is 12, times the height. Now, again, we don't know what the height is, do we? So we got to figure out what that is. This time it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Oh, this makes it really easy. If this is 6.5, look, that side and that side are equal, right? So what's that side? That's 6.5. Agreed? That's your height, that's your base, so you just go 12 times 6.5, and that gives you 78. Double check, make sure I'm getting these right. Okay. Alright, let's keep going. Easy so far, isn't it? This time they tell you the area. Right? And they ask you to find x, which is basically the what of the parallelogram. It's the height of the parallelogram. And they give you the base. So look, area equals base times height. So it's just a matter of just dividing. So 570 equals the base, which is 19, times the height, and the height is x. Divide both sides by 19, and x is, number 3 is 30. Good. Wow, these are pretty easy, aren't they? Yeah, that was the easiest one so far. Look at this one. This one you had to think a little bit about it. Area of a trapezoid. First of all, you have to know what the area of a trapezoid is. Do you remember what the area of a trapezoid is? It's 1/2 the two bases together, right? The sum of the bases times the height. So first of all, you have to know what the formula for area of a trapezoid is before you can even attempt this. So area is 1/2 the sum of the bases. Well, we know the two bases, 11 and 32. Add them up. What's that, 43? Times the height. Do I know the height? They don't give it to me, but I can figure it out. Look how easy it is. This is 5 right here. This little bit is 3. So what's this? That's 4. So the height is 4. So that's it. Let's do this. Half of 4 is 2. And then 2 times 43 is 86. All without a calculator, right? Do any of you guys, like, try to do things without a calculator, like on purpose? You should. Okay, you should. Don't ask me why. Come on, I've had enough speeches on that. You don't have to ask why.
It just takes too long to punch things into the calculator.
Right, sometimes it does. And I'm kind of a little more proud of myself sometimes when I can do this without a calculator. You got to know the area of a kite to do this, don't you? Do you remember what the area of a kite is? It's 1/2. So many people. Shh. Bring it down. Bring it down. So many people forget the 1/2 on this. It's 1/2 d1 d2. So that's all you got to do. Watch. So the area is 1/2 times what? 6 times 2.4. And then 1/2 of 6 is 3. 3 times 2.4 is what? 7.2? Is that right? Did I do that right? Yep. 7.2. and that's the area of that kite. Simple. That's just plug and chug. You just got to know the formula. That's all I'm testing right there is if you know how to do the formula. Everybody can do the arithmetic, but you just have to know the formula. Look at this. We're rolling right along here. Number 6, the area of this triangle. Well, again, you got to know the area of a triangle is what? 1/2 the base times the height. So if you look at this, they tell you the height, which is 25. What about the base? Is the base 15?
No, 30.
No, the base is 30. Now, you just can't make an assumption and think that it hits it right in the middle, because it doesn't. These two sides are equal. It's isosceles triangle. And if I draw a perpendicular in altitude, it'll bisect that opposite side. Okay? So if this is 15, then this is 15. The whole thing is 30. So it's 1/2 the whole entire base, which is 30. We're going to take half of it anyway, get to 15, aren't we? And then times the height, which is 25. So half of 30 is 15, which is that 15, times 25 is what, 375?
You can just do like 1/2 times 2.
I know, that's what I said earlier. I did say that, but yes.
If the triangle is equilateral and you draw a line perpendicular, it'll still bisect it, right?
Yes. If it's yeah, equilateral means it is isosceles.
Yeah.
Right? Find the area of the rhombus. The nice thing about this is we have two figures that have the same exact formula, and that would be what? A kite and a rhombus. Same exact formula. You just have to memorize what that is. It's harder that blue. Well, a rhombus has both pairs of sides parallel to each other. Kite, neither one of the pairs of sides are parallel to each other. Okay? So rhombus is different than a kite. And on this, there's only one pair of opposite angles that are equal, because these two are not equal. These two are equal. On these, both pairs of opposite angles are equal. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's crazy. So it's a good question. But now is not really the time, just because we're reviewing how to do the problems. But it is a good question. It's kind of interesting, though, that, right, two different shapes have the same exact formula. So it's 1/2. It's the same formula as this, so we take the two diagonals, which they give you, 9 and 7. 63, half of 63 is what, 31.5? 31.5. There it is. Rolling right along. Let's make this a little smaller. Oh, look at this crazy thing. So many people had problems with this. I'm not sure why. Watch how easy this was. Number 8. Watch, it says, find the area of a square with the apothem length of 3 inches. Let's draw a square right here. And I think the problem with this, if you didn't get it right, is you're just not really sure what the apothem is. The apothem goes from the center, right? And it goes perpendicular to one of the sides.
All you have to do is multiply that by 2.
So, that's right. So, the apothem is 3. So that's 3 right there. It's from the center. So what's the whole entire
6.
length of that? That's 6. And what's that? That's 6. Okay, find the area. I'm sorry. Find the area of this square. 6 times 6 is what? 36. Just like that. Man, I had all kinds of crazy stuff. I had people doing this, finding angles here, doing trig functions, and all kinds of stuff like that. This was so much easier than that, all right? All right. What else we got? Hexagon, regular hexagon. Well, let's go find a hexagon. We'll do this down here. Yeah. Okay, this says find the area of a regular hexagon with a side length of 15. So technically, you don't even have to draw a whole entire hexagon out. I will, just since I can. Okay, and it's just as easy to do that. But what you could do, if you wanted to, come on, there it is. Okay, what you could do is just draw like this part of it right here, right? You don't have to have all of that in there if you don't want to. And we're trying to find the area, and what did I say this was, 15? Yeah, the side length is 15. All right, so this is what you want to do. Put a dot here that represents the center of that hexagon, and we're trying to find the area of it. So the area, let's do the apothem first. Here's something you have to know. The area of a regular polygon is 1/2 the apothem times p. What does p stand for? The perimeter of this thing. So the perimeter is the easy part. I can find the perimeter that's very easy. What's the perimeter?
15 times 6.
Yeah, 15 times 6. So 15 times 3 is what? 45, 90, is that right? So the perimeter is 90. So what do I have to find? I basically just have to find the apothem, which is this right here. So how in the world am I going to find that? Well, let's draw another line. Where do you want to draw that? To here. Why did I draw that? Because I can find this angle right here. Now technically, after a while, you don't even have to draw that second line right there, correct? You could find this whole big angle right here. Because if I drew it to all these other vertices, what is it? It's 360 divided by what? 6, which is 60 degrees. So this whole big angle from here to here, you guys are watching, right?
Yep.
This is where a lot of people had a problem on this, and I got like 5 people talking to each other. So let's look up here. Just trying to ignore it, but I just can't. So this whole entire angle right here is 60 degrees. What's this part of the angle that I really want to find? Okay, yeah, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So that is 30 degrees right there. So, and that's a right angle, and so it's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And that's kind of nice. What do we know, first of all? We actually know this. Because they tell you the whole thing is 15, so what's this little bit right here? 7.5. All right. I want to find the apothem. It's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is the long side. This is the short side. So what's A?
Square root of 3.
7.5 times the square root of 3. That's the apothem. That's what I'm going to put in right there. So it's 1/2 times 7.5 square root of 3 times 90. Chuck that all into your calculator, and that's, what number is that? That's number 9, 584.6. 584.6. And it says to round it to the nearest tenth, doesn't it? So that's why I did that. I didn't just make it 585. So that would be the area of that regular hexagon. We good with that? All right, let's see where we are. I might quit here. Yep, let's just quit right there. That's number 9.
Thank you.
And let's do one more.
Let's do 5 more. Just remember.
We did number 9.
It says, no, we didn't do number 10. I want to do number 10. So we'll do half of them. That's good. Shaded sector, this is 12 degrees. All right, so watch this. So this, ooh, that's white. I don't want it. It's not going to show up too well.
Pink.
Pink? Is that pink right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So 12 degrees. Let's make this a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so what do we do with this? We're not finding the area of the whole circle. What would the area of the whole circle be? It would be pi what? R squared. So what do you think, Alyssa? What are we going to do?
12 over 360.
Good.
Times pi times 4.3 squared.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Okay. So the whole circle would be pi r squared. We're not finding the whole circle. We're only finding the shaded part of the circle. This is 12 degrees out of the whole circle. Out of means to divide by. So 12 out of 360. 12 divided by 360. That tells you what fraction of the circle we're trying to find the area of. And then pi r squared. Plug that into a calculator and you get 1.9. All right. Now I haven't been putting units on here, but technically it would be inches squared, wouldn't it? Okay, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. All right, so chapter 11, the rest of it, 11 through 20, I'm going to try to do that tonight for you, and so you can look for that a little bit later on. So by tonight, you should have, sometime tonight, you should have every single problem on every single test that we did from third and fourth marking period. Okay? All right. Study for this. Don't just blow it off, right? Because you got a ways to go. You got almost a week, don't you?
Yes.
Was it next Wednesday?
Next
Thursday. So you got a week, all right, with no math at all. So, I mean, that could be a good thing, but it could be a bad thing because you're going to forget a lot of this stuff. So make sure you go to the YouTube and that you review. All right. Have a good week. Enjoy your last hour, 50 minutes of school.